imagine going to pick up some takeout with your friend. Friend goes in to pick up the food. You're waiting in the car, and all of a sudden, police slap some cuffs on you, pull you out of the car, and fine you $144 for no reason whatsoever. Well, this is what happened to Farid Charles back in 2010. He's just recently been awarded $33,000 by the Human Rights Commission. Thank you so much for joining us, Farid. And listen, it is a story that many of us don't even have words for. Tell me, first of all, what it was like to be awarded for the judgment, to hear the judgment being pronounced.
It's not yet an award. It's a recommendation by the Human Rights Tribunal Commission. And it's for $33,000. It's just recommendation.
Yeah, you haven't received the money yet, but the tribunal has made the decision and the recommendation.
Saying that I've been racially profiled and illegally arrested, and I did endure something that should never have happened to begin with.
Mm-hmm. So hearing that, how did that make you feel?
I was pleased because that shows that's a clear deterrent that there is a problem, and it sends also it sends the city a signal that there is a problem, and we need to acknowledge that racial profiling does exist in our community within Montreal.
Take us back to when this happened. So you're a school teacher, at the time, you're waiting for your friend, and I cannot even imagine what goes through someone's mind when this is happening, because police are supposed to be there to protect you, and then this happens.
I was in shock. I was violently shot to the floor, punches being thrown, and the clear thing that stays in my mind till today is the handcuffs making that sound, ugh. And then I'm more or less in shock. Everything goes cold, my breath stops, and I can't believe I'm being arrested. I can't believe I'm in the back of a police car. And then all these things are going through my head, and I'm saying this is my tax dollars going towards me being arrested when I'm supposed to be served and protected, but I'm being humiliated and brutalized and dehumanized. And they took away something for a time being that no one should have never taken away, which was my right to be a citizen instead of a criminal. I'm not a criminal. I'm a citizen of a community of Montreal, and that should not have happened.
That's a very powerful thing. That I've read that's what you're saying, that they took something away from you, and your right to just be a citizen. And so now, in moving forward, we have to wait to see if you're going to, in fact, be awarded the $33,000. There's the stories with the police right now are making headlines left, right, and center. Do you still trust the system? Do you trust police officers right now?
I'm on a fence. I know I don't agree with the fence all the time. You're supposed to really pick a side, but you look at the headlines, you look at all the episodes that are happening with other people in the community, people being falsely arrested or falsely persecuted, it makes it difficult. You begin to start losing trust in the system that's there to protect us. So unless accountability is taken on the police chief or the mayor's side to acknowledge that there's a problem, it's going to be difficult to regain that trust. But we have to acknowledge there's a problem, and someone needs to take accountability for the problem.
Mm-hmm. And you've said this before, you're a very private person. This is not something that you were looking for. You were not looking for the spotlight, but you have been pushed into it, and you've become a prominent, you've always been a prominent member in your community. I'm wondering what the reaction is like, because if this can happen to you, how many other people does this happen to and they don't come forward? Tell me what the reaction is like in the community.
Being exposed, again, you said I'm a private person. I like to stay to myself, my family, my inner circle. That's it. But everything, more or less, as one of my mentors explained to me, it happened to you for a reason. If it happened to you, that means it's happening to tons of other people, and they're not coming forward. And people aren't coming forward because, again, they're losing that trust into the system. They're afraid, and nothing's ever being done to rectify the problem. So why come forward? But again, if we don't come forward, it's going to keep on happening. We need to start speaking out against it, start talking about it to stop this problem before it gets worse.
And is that, I guess, the message? I mean, if you had a message to Montreal police, for example, what would it be?
My first message would have to go to the community, and more or less when there's this problem that does occur, please speak out about it. Silence kills us slowly.
Yeah.
If you speak out about it, someone is eventually going to hear you, and I was lucky that the Car Association did hear me and did assist me in pursuing this. Else it could have just went under the carpet and forgotten about. But now we know there's a problem, racial profiling does exist, and for the police, I'll say not to judge a book by its cover.
Yeah. Farid Charles, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and keep fighting the good fight.